Biden holding a town hall with veterans in Delaware today, talking about the benefits of the PACT Act. That law expands health care coverage for veterans exposed to burn pits and other toxic substances. President Biden signed it back in August. NBC News reporter Gary Grumbach joins us now from Delaware. Gary, President Biden was at that National Guard Center named after his late son, Beau Biden, who died from brain cancer back in 2015. What was the president's message to vets there today?
Yeah, this was a political event, but also a personal one for President Biden. Politically, because the president said, hey, we passed this legislation, we signed it, but it can only be beneficial to the veterans that it's meant for if they actually are aware of it and they know about it and they use it. And he was particularly talking to the 16 million veterans that are around this country that can benefit from some part of this legislation, and particularly the 3.5 recent veterans from the post-9/11 Iraq and Afghanistan wars. And this was something that did not pass through Congress easily. It took a lot of work. It took a lot of help from people like high-profile names like Jon Stewart. Here's how President Biden described the slog that really was getting this legislation across the finish line.
Secretary McDonough can tell you we're determined to do something about this, come hell or high water. And I mean that. I made it real clear to the United States Congress, if they didn't pass this damn burn pit bill, I was going to go on holy war. Not a joke.
And then personally, Aaron, President Biden mentioned his late son, Beau, who served in the Iraq War and died of a brain tumor. He certainly knows that he needs to be able to help the veterans in need. Aaron?
Yeah, you know, I talked to the VA secretary at length about this PACT Act a couple of weeks ago, Gary. There are pieces in here, a lot of parts in here, I think, that a lot of people may not be familiar with. Can you sort of step through some of the major elements of this particular law for our viewers?
Yeah, for sure. We have a fancy graphic for you here. As I mentioned, it includes the healthcare eligibility expansion for 3.5 million people. It also adds 23 health conditions presumed to be caused by burn pits and Agent Orange, and requires Veteran Affairs to screen for potential toxic exposure when the veterans go for those annual checkups at their local VA. And now this event Biden held today was one of the 90 that were held around the country as they try to make people aware of this legislation and this bill. Aaron?
Gary Grumbach for us in Delaware today. Gary, thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.